Hello and welcome to my music channel. In this lesson we're going to look at learning the 12 minor triad chords. In the previous lesson we looked at learning all 12 major chords using a shape method. If you haven't done that lesson, it's worth going back and doing the whole thing and making sure you're totally clear with it, because we're going to be using that as a basis to find our minor chords. In the previous lesson, the first three chords we looked at were C, F and G. Let's look at the difference between a major chord and a minor chord. Here's C major. Root, third, fifth. To turn a major into a minor, all we have to do is flatten the third. So here's our third. And to flatten any note, we're taking it down the piano. Okay, so the next note down is an E flat. It's not D, it's the one up there. So we're changing the E to an E flat, and that gives us a C minor. Okay, the minor sounding chords are sad sounding, and the major are happy sounding. Can you hear the difference? Let's do the same to F. Flatten the third. F minor. G. Flatten the third. G minor. So it's a good way to practice them like this, and eventually you'll play them enough that you won't even have to think C major with a flattened third. You'll just know the exact shape. But it's a good way to find all your minor chords. The next group we looked at are D, E and A. Let's take a look at D. Now we're on sharp note, so to flatten that, remember we're taking it down the piano, the third. The next one down is this F. Gives us the D minor. Let's look at the next one. E. E major, flatten the third. E minor. A. Flatten the third. A minor. The next three we looked at were D flat, E flat and A flat. There's D flat. Okay? If we flatten the third, the next one down, the next note down, there isn't a black note in between, it's this E, so it gives us this shape. Yeah, can you see that? The next one along, E flat. Flatten the third, the next note this way, here. Let's give us an E flat minor. Going along to A flat major. Let's turn it minor. The next note along from the middle, this way. A flat minor, or G sharp minor. Right. The next one we looked at was on its own. It was a G flat, sorry, and an F sharp. Okay, so it's three black notes here. So we're going to take the third, we're going to flat it. The next note down, this A. Gives us this shape, yeah. So that's F sharp minor. Then we looked at the two others that were left. There was the B flat major and the B. Let's look at the B flat major and turn it to a minor. There's our third in the middle there. Let's flatten it. Yes, we took that D to the D flat there. Major, minor. Let's look at the B. There's our B major. We're going to take this third and we're going to flatten it, which gives us the B minor. Okay, major, flattening the third, minor. One thing to note, when we start doing inversions, which I'll take you through in another lesson, inversions are where we take one of the notes and put it either below or above. So if I took this C and put it on top, that would give us the first inversion of a C. Now, the E there is still the third of the chord. It's easy. A lot of my students, it trips them up. So that is still the third of the chord no matter where. if I move this, the third up here to make a different inversion, this is still the third. So if we were gonna flatten it, we can still flatten that. Yeah, we'll be flattening that E. What we don't want to be doing is looking at the C as the third and flattening that. It's going to create a wrong chord. So remember, if we take a C, the third is the E, so no matter where it is, we're always going to be flattening that E to an E flat, which will give us a C minor. The three inversions of a C minor would be... We're back. Okay. Right, I'll just run through all the minor chords quickly. C minor, F minor, G minor, D minor, E minor, A minor, D flat minor, E flat minor, A flat minor, G flat minor, B flat minor, and B minor. Well, I hope you found this lesson helpful. If you did, I'd be honoured if you can like and subscribe. And if you've got any comments, pop them in the comments box below and I will get back to you. A little shout out to one of my students, Dylan Kappa, who's doing very well on the piano. So keep it up, Dylan. Thanks for watching.